Fijian side, but it's going to take an almighty effort because it is just as big a deal for Fiji, of course. And the word is, you know, such is the interest in Fiji, they've had to import more dishes for the telly-mad public to watch this game. They ran out of dishes to sell in Fiji, so they had to send out an SOS for reinforcements as Ireland relaunch the game with that restart, and Jared Hayne runs it back.
And just like in the first half, he was able to make meters in collision, wasn't he, after hitting the men. Can Ireland sort of start to win this physical battle when the two players collide? Can the Irish player force the Fijian backwards?
Ashton Sims, he seems to have had a bandage or plaster applied to that cut on his ear. Similarly, Ryan Tandy back outside, back out there and making the tackle. Good defence by the Irish there.
It has to be for the next 39 minutes, Bill, because in that first half, 16 missed tackles, can't afford to do that. And I thought the kick and chase game was very poor. Time and time again, they kicked it right down to the fullback, Jared Haynes. What they've got to do, they've got to kick towards the two wingers, Tadjalala.
Noelia with the kick ahead, and Richards has spilled it. Fiji are going to get the ball back. And the kick, it was initially from Noelia, who chased it. And it's now in possession of Sukanaveta. So error there from the Irish gives Fiji a great platform at the start of this second half. Are they over the try line? I think it's Millard who's at the bottom of that.
Be the second tackle. Just check to see the grounding.
It is Millard underneath that who burst onto the ball, but did they manage to keep him off the ground?
Well, it's disappointing from an Irish perspective if Fiji have scored here. Storer perhaps, who's crashed through from the dummy half position, but you'd have to say perhaps fair play. They were enterprising in that last tackle, kick over the top. They then hacked it forward again and it gave them possession.
I don't think he's got it down. I think they've got underneath him. Great work by Finnegan, drags the arm back. I don't think he gets the... Platt goes underneath. Now they do often, especially in Australia, give the benefit of the doubt to the attacking side, but I think that is no try.
And Finnegan and James Storer just exchanging a word there, and it was fantastic work from Simon Finnegan.
And Fiji think it's no try. They're already lined up here for the next play. We get confirmation now from the video referee.
And Fiji will play the ball on the Irish 10-metre line. It's Storer who was denied the try there by some fantastic Irish defence. It's going to have to be equally as good this time, because here they come once more with Noelia.
And again, Ireland taking a gamble, coming out of the one line of defence. On that occasion, it was Scott Griggs. Oh, that's an error, that play on.
And here's the hero of the moment, Finnegan, who picks it up. Well, he scored a try against Samoa, wonderful try that was as well. And he's come up with something just as important at the start of this second half, his involvement in that tackle.
Well, an in-your-face defensive mindset from Ireland, particularly on their own try line, has seen off a further Fijian challenge here now, and Fiji's just not quite getting the control around the play the ball area. They've conceded yet another penalty here, slowing down in the ruck, holding the Irish player down for too long.
It's the former London Bronco and Harlequins player Nick Bradley Kwalilawa who was the guilty party there. Familiar figure to Broncos and Quinn supporters, but now back out here and a Manly player. But Ireland relieved to get the penalty that takes them up to the halfway line. Tandy, West Tigers now, struggles to get to his feet to play the ball. Fitzpatrick, great work from the little man. Fitzpatrick's got support on the outside, and the support is Corcoran, but Corcoran hasn't got the legs. But nevertheless, the Irish are only 11 metres out. They're massing now, are the Irish. Here is Tandy. Tandy, an audacious kick from him. They'll get another set of 6. They almost got a try there. Almost a mess up from Uarte.
Well, Tora just got the fingertips to it in time, I think it was.
What a break by Fitzpatrick. Look, stepping, dummying and going through the gap. He found Corcoran on the inside, but there was no way he'd outpace Uarte to the line. He controlled possession. They had one more chance at it. I don't know whether he dropped it or just delicately stabbed it through, wasn't it? Kicked by Tandy. And Tora just about grounds it, according to Ashley Klein. Good first goal line dropout that Fiji will have to make in this match.
Stay behind, guys.
So, 1 minute there denying Fiji a try at the other end. And now they've got Fiji under pressure, forced to drop out from underneath their own posts. Grix, the captain. And they come charging back with Corcoran. He's tackled on the 30-metre line, gets to his feet to play the ball. Lee Duran. McAlorum, Corcoran, and Grix again. Ooh, almost through it. Needed to be a good tackle from Uarte. It was, I think. No, I beg your pardon. It was Semisi Tora. But here's Fitzpatrick again. And once more, the footwork almost wrong-footing the Fijian defenders. Bradley Kwalilawa it was with the tackle, and Fiji have got the ball back.
Well, a short Fiji defence, wasn't it, there on the line. McAlorum comes out of the acting half-back. He's looking to try and put Platt into a hole, but he put him face-on-face to a Fijian defender. And a missed opportunity, you'd have to say, there for Ireland.
Yeah, you made the tackle straight away, though.
Steps out, just trying to thread him through the hole, but Nagama's defensive read is a good one.
Second rows and loose forwards, Brian.
Stood directly in front of Platt, forced the ball free.
So Fiji in possession, and Fiji in the lead, 12-10 here. That's good news for, I'm sure that's news that'll be being cheered in Rochdale. The Fijian community there, of course, Rochdale, a long association with Fijian Rugby League, because that was where Fijians really started to make their mark in the game, and the Rochdale Fijian community, you can be sure, will be sitting watching this and cheering the Batty on here, while the Irish supporters will be cheering their side on. Both nations on the brink of World Cup history here. And it's Fiji in possession. Ireland need to defend strongly. Fiji up to the halfway line with Uarte. That's the fifth tackle. And what's the kick going to be like? It was a little audacious chip over the top from Groom last time, but this one's straight down the middle and into the hands of Damien Blanche. And Fiji know all about this guy now. We can go down to the sideline and get some half-time news from Ben Pro.
Bill Andy Kelly wanted his side to up the enthusiasm in this start of this second half. He'd be pleased with the contribution that Carl Fitzpatrick made to that last Ireland attack. Thankfully, Ryan Tandy and Gareth Haggerty are both okay. That's the main injury news for Ireland. Not so for Fiji. Sevenaya Karoi suffered a split eye halfway through that first half. He's had 4 stitches in the injury and he's still on the sidelines.
Here is Grix. Ireland just trailing by the 2 points here. McAlorum. Fiji appeal for a forward pass as McAlorum popped it up for Lee Duran. And here is Platt. Platt hoists that kick straight down the middle of the field. But Hayne under no great pressure there.
And again, they're kicking to the wrong person. He's proved very solid as Haynes. What they have to do is go to the 2 wingers. Tadulala and Uarte are not the most confident under the high ball. And yet, Ireland are ignoring that fact.
Here's Semi Tadulala. Of course, he's had problems with a broken arm, and then the penalty goes against Tadulala, and Ashley Klein indicating that an elbow was used there by the Bradford man.
Well, this could be a massive turning point in this game and the history of Irish Rugby League here. They're going to get possession here now, and they've played well. They've started the second half far better than they did in the first 40. Semi Tadulala used his elbow twice on McAlorum, who performed a legitimate tackle. And as a result of that, now Ireland with a perfect opportunity. Can they find any fluency? Is there any teamwork, team play to break through the Fijian defence? It will take more, I feel, than just individual efforts.
Jed Corcoran plays the ball. It's with Eamon O'Carroll now, but he really took that pass standing still. And the Irish supporters finding their voice here at the Skilled Stadium.
Did well there, Scott Grix. It looked as though he was going to be using a shepherd. Just stopped in time.
They're in possession with Finnegan now. Finnegan takes them closer still to the Fijian line. The Fijian defence is rough and solid, and the kick goes in. Duran will chase it, but it was too strong from Fitzpatrick. Much too strong. And Fiji are off the hook.
Well, a really poor set from Ireland. They didn't look like a team that had been training together for weeks, did they? Well, that's the pressure of the occasion.
So Fiji still clinging on to this 12-10 lead. Ashton Sims told to get to his feet and stop milking the penalty. Uwate takes the tackle. And here's Tadulala again, and Tadulala felt that. I think that was a bit of payback time from McAlorum, perhaps. Bradley Kwalilala pops that ball up. And it's Osei Sadro. Play that ball about 40 metres out. Storer now bumps off the first challenge. Is then tackled on the 30-metre line. And it's with Jared Hayne, and Hayne, he hoists the kick this time. It's a good one. It's a high one. It's hanging. Platt is looking at it, and Platt eventually will deal with it. Richards couldn't, but fortunately for the Irish, it came back off Richards into the hands of Michael Platt.
Well, just look at the difference between the last two kicks we've seen. One was a high one, which Jared Hayne took without any pressure, 20 metres from his own try line. This kick here, Ireland are taking on or about their own try line, with numbers rushing down on them, players under pressure, Irish players unsure who's going to take it. Richards points to Platt, then eventually has a go at it, and ultimately Platt is carried over the dead ball line, and Fiji get the ball back, and that's a massive difference at this point and this level of the game.
I wonder whether the efforts, the mighty efforts that the Irish have put in against the Tongans and the Samoans is just beginning to catch up with them. Not only physical, but emotional as well. And McAlorum is left down there. He went in very high. Well, he went in very heavily anyway on Sukanaveta, and he's come off second best as Wigan's Mike McAlorum.
Well, maybe this could just change it for... It looks as though Bob Beswick will be brought back into the fray. McAlorum still receiving treatment in back play.
Ireland not square. Fiji will get the penalty. McAlorum on his knees.
And that's a big concern for Ireland. They need to get 13 defenders back on the field, down to just 12 men.
Well, Beswick is on the sidelines there. They're trying to get him off as quickly as possible.
Need a trainer, that's you. Need a trainer.
Oh, he really caught it.
Beswick comes on. And
Need a trainer, guys.
McAlorum felt that, and there's another Irish player, I think, in trouble. It's Griggs, I think, who's having to come off. There must be blood, a cut on his brow. Yep.
Well, in the space of 1 minute, that's taken up 2 of the interchanges that they're allowed for Ireland. That sort of makes a difference to the coach now. He has to consider who he's going to rest and rotate in the next 30 minutes.
Well, Liam Finn is available.
Hold that line.
And Finn it is who'll, I think, come on. And Finn eventually on the field as Fiji take the tap and not come on the charge with Sadrau. Sadrau just short of the try line. Ireland managed to drive him back another metre or so. But another test for this Irish defence. It stood firm in the second half. Can it do so here as Bradley Kwalilawa plays the ball, struggling to get free of the tackle. Littler could have been penalised there. Aaron Groom puts the brakes on, but he's brought down. It's a good tackle. It was from Jed Corcoran. The ball lobbed out wide to the captain, Wes Nagama. 4 tackles gone. Can Ireland survive this? The alarm bells ringing for this Irish side as Aaron Groom ships the ball on. It's not a good pass, and Jared Hayne down on his knees to pick that ball up. And that's the 5th tackle. Ireland have done well here if they can defend this little kick ahead. And Blanche letting that one run and just getting away with it. In fact, I think Damien Blanche played at that ball.
He did. It'll be a drop out from underneath the sticks. Neat little kick through there. And Damien Blanche had to come to the rescue, could not take the risk.
Well, I may sound repetitive, but Fiji are being rather repetitive here. They forced 2 goal line dropouts back to back here. One through a high kick, now through a short kick in the in-goal area, and it's a classic example of building pressure on your opponent's line until ultimately they crack. Can Ireland defy the rugby league logic here, which says that after probably 18 tackles, somebody will fall off one and a Fijian player will go through to score? Good strong chase from the kick.
And that halted the progress of Sukanaveta, but they're coming powering up the middle of the Fijians.
Well, they're putting in some big hits, aren't they, Jed Corcoran on this occasion?
Ashton Sims.
How much is it taking out of it? Their energy that they've had to produce over the last 10 minutes. Could it just soak up and leave them vulnerable.
Sukanaveta is a chunky number 9 for the Fijians. Tackled on the 10-metre line. He's to his feet slowly. It's being played in a really humid and hot atmosphere here, and it's a fast and frantic game. It's got to be draining on the players. Again, that's the 5th tackle. Ireland managing to keep him at bay as the kick goes in, and this time they force another goal line dropout. I don't know whether they needed to play at that one, but after what they've gone through in this tournament already.
No, I think Michael Platt had no option. The ball bounced back. It looked as though it was going to roll dead in goal, and then it just took a wicked bounce back. Look at this. He thought it's easy, leave it, and then watch it. Whoa, let it go.
Michael Platt has been caught out once in this tournament, and that was against Tonga. He wasn't going to make the same mistake twice there, the Irish fullback. So that's a 4th goal line dropout that Fiji have forced, and that's another mighty kick.
It's important to get up there in numbers, and they have.
Jared Hayne runs it back and is stopped on the halfway line.
Beautiful kick there from Pat Richards. That could lift their spirits.
2 tackles gone, but Ireland really on the ropes here. They're taking a pummeling. Can Fiji land the knockout blow? Storer is trying to do that. Up the middle goes the number 14.
He's lifted the spirits of the Fijians.
Aaron Crew now. Here's Bradley Kwalilawa. The ball out wide. And Richards so nearly there, nearly on the end of that one.
It was a huge gamble. Pat Richards lunged forward. Great work here from James Storer. And then they got the ball out wide. Oh, just couldn't get it on the second occasion. He's furious.
Pat Richards so close. Well, we've seen problems for the Irish. Let's get news of just what the situation is with Ben. Hang on a minute, because Fiji are on the attack. Here's Uarte. Uarte very close to that try line. The ball is popped up to Ashton Sims, legs pumping, the Brisbane Bronco goes for the try line. But the Irish muscle up to hold him out this time. Storer, change of direction from him. Here's Noilia. Noilia drops the ball back. They are in. It's Jason Bukuya who'll get the try eventually. Ireland just ran out of numbers. The gallant Irish defence just wasn't there to stop Jason Bukuya getting the try that increases Fiji's lead here. The Cronulla Sharks player finishing off that move.
Well, there's no disgrace in this for Ireland. I think this is the 25th consecutive play that Fiji have had in possession. Eventually they've gone through to score, but it's a little wide of the goalpost, and that makes the kick a little harder. And at 6-point advantage, Ireland are still in this. He's turned the ball back in the inside, and the Irish jerseys can't get there to prevent Jason Bukuya from scoring, to the relief, I think, of the Fijian side. There's always a sense of frustration when you're continually pounding your opponent's line but unable to break through it. 6-point advantage isn't a winning lead in this game. Neither, would I say, would 8 points be. And Ireland need to hope that they can get their hands back on the ball, because in a 10-minute period you can be blown out of the World Cup without touching the possession.
Well, Ireland have never been 8 points behind or more behind in any of their games so far. They've managed to keep tabs on the opposition. They've managed to hang on. But if Fiji just start to put a bit of daylight between themselves now, then Ireland could see this game disappearing into the distance. So can Wes Nagama land this conversion to give them that cushion? He has done. 18-10 the scoreline to Nagama and his Fijian side. And the Bati are celebrating.
He's had a fine game, this fella, Wes Nagama, and I must say that Ireland didn't have the luck of the Irish on this occasion. You'll see Sean Gleeson, he lunges out the right arm and it drops perfectly for the loose forward. Jason Bukuya.
And that kick's gone out on the full, the restart out on the full. Richards just putting too much into that.
There's every chance of a back-to-back try here for Fiji. Said Ireland haven't touched the ball. They're going to be back in their own half defending here. The kick clearly over the dead ball line.
Well, we praise him, don't we, Pat Richards, having so much strength and length from the kicks, and then he comes up with a very bad error. Well, they've got away with this. What have they?
No! That one looked as though it was going to find touch. And Damien Blanche, relieved to see it take a bit of a leg break and come back in the field of play. And Ireland, well, they have got away with it. Or have they? They have. It gets better. They get the penalty. High tackle, says Ashley Klein. Now I think we can go down to the sidelines. Ben.
Some luck for the Irish there, Bill, but very unlucky on the injury front. As captain Griggs was absent and off the field with a cut left eye during that try, and that cost them dearly with the touchdown from Bukuya. Mike McAlorum also suffering some dizziness on the sideline after that clash with Sukanaveta, and the concern on the Ireland bench is how many substitutions they've already used up.
They might need another one after that challenge, but fair dues. Lee Duran gets to his feet and gets on with it.
He hits him, doesn't he? This Alipati Noile. Stand off. Boom. He hits him like a loose forward.
Bill, I always think defence wins big games. In 3 tackles, Ireland haven't advanced a metre downfield. In fact, with 4, what were they made, a metre or 2? But they tapped the ball in about the same place that they were at the start of this set.
Well, here's Gareth Haggerty, who was off early on, of course, with that shoulder problem. They get another penalty to the Irish.
That's a dream for Ireland.
There's 2 in there.
Ball was stolen.
There's no time. It's not a time to start rushing. Just control it out there. The coach Kelly will have sent the message out now. Come on. Do not panic. There is still plenty of time. Only 8 points adrift. It's easily dragged back.
Well, they've shown great resilience in this tournament of this Irish side, a side that was here to make up the numbers according to a lot of the host media. Well, everybody else was here to make up the numbers according to members of the host media. Here is Haggerty and gets a good offload away. Fitzpatrick now. Fitzpatrick finds Finn. Finn comes back across the field, scored a wonderful try in that victory over Samoa, but he's tackled about 9 metres out. Bezic. Here's Finnegan. Finnegan taking them off in the middle of the field. He's opposite numbered. Jason Bukuya with the tackle.
They've got to look for a second phase. Dummy runners. They've got to try to drag this Fijian defence out.
Fitzpatrick fires the ball up. Good offload, it's back to Fitzpatrick, the little dummy from Salford's City Reds player.
The kick for Pat Richards, they have to get it to Pat Richards' side.
They've gone the other way, they've gone with the short kick, the ball is still loose, but Ireland were offside. The Irish fans thinking they could celebrate a try there, but Ireland ahead of the kicker. Oh, look at Liam Finn, he is a mess. There is blood being spilt in the Irish cause tonight.
Well, he won't get much longer on the field, will he? Bang, clash of heads.
Oh, dear me.
Matarate.
Yeah, Vonamatara
2, 3 or 4, it didn't matter.
Those are the stitches he'll need, Steve.
Oh, look at that.
Dewsbury's Liam Finn, so Grix, well, ironically, Grix has now got patched up. He's got a great big bandage around his head, and he's going to replace Liam Finn, who's going to need similar treatment.
If they lose any more, Terry O'Connor and Barry McDermott will be pulling on the green jersey again and going out there. They've lost so many players to blood-bin injuries. What a tough clash to Fiji.
Let's be fair, Phil. We want Ireland to have a chance.
Oh, Nakama felt that.
Oh, is this getting tasty? We're into the final quarter, and you'd think this was the start of the game.
It's Sukanaveta who, in fact, was on the receiving end there, and then they just got a little bit carried away there. And Ashley Klein again, very cool and calm in the midst of all this.
To be fair to Ashley Klein, I think he's been the best referee in this tournament. But aren't they giving it to each other?
And he says Haggerty isn't standing square. I think that's a tough call against
Oh,
Ireland.
it is a big call, especially late in the game. You can't be pinpoint accurate all throughout the 80 minutes.
Kuroi plays the ball for the Fijians.
They've got to try to force the error.
Sadrau tackled.
And with some of the contacts and the crashes into each other, it could very well come off.
Here's Wes Nagama. 3 tackles gone. Off goes Akila Uarte. Uarte almost finding his way through for a second try. Platt penalised. He flopped in there.
I'd go for the 2 here. I really would. Calm things down.
Scott.
And Scott Griggs is being summoned over by Ashley Klein for a warning. As if the Irish haven't got enough problems.
4 penalties in this ruck area in very quick succession. You want to sort it, okay, otherwise you know what's going to happen.
So
right, talk to the lads now. You've got time, talk to them.
Sin binning is the next option. And Griggs, well, mutters something. What's he supposed to do? Sort of wander among his players and hand out a little flyer, print a memo?
No, they're going to get a chance to look here at Uwata. They did well to stop him. He's such a handful when he stepped through the tackle. Platt and Bezic involved. And I think that Ireland will be relieved here that Fiji have elected to kick at goal. I don't think there's much difference between 8 and 10 points from an Irish perspective. They'll have to score twice anyway.
Well, to be fair, Griggs is going amongst his men, but maybe it's not the warning that he's handing out. It's words of encouragement, just that.
Well, we heard Terry O'Connor in the interview before the game saying that this game's about no regrets. At the end of your career, you look back with one chance of going through to the World Cup semi-final. You've got to give everything you have here now in the remainder of this match.
And Wes Nagama makes no mistake with that. Another success with the boot, his 4th success in the game, and Fiji ahead by 20 points to 10 here now. Nagama kicking that penalty goal for his side.
Well, when you stretch to a 10-point lead, it means that Ireland are left with no option but to try to force this ball. They've got to try perhaps force the error. They're not going to go for a short one. By the way, he's put the ball down there. It's going to be long into the corner.
It's another deep one. This time it stays in the field of play. And Ireland come to meet the receiver. So into the final quarter of this game. And the Fijian supporters just singing the praises of their side.
It'll be interesting, Bill, to see how Fiji handle these final moments. Will they just close up shop? No, they won't.
That's not in their nature.
I'm going to say, but there are times when you just got to try to close it down. England should have done that when they were leading by 24 points to 8 against the Kiwis. It's not a time for change and panic. It's a time for what we call closing the game down. Will Fiji do it?
Sean Gleeson was deemed to have lifted Koroy into a dangerous position. I felt maybe Ireland had to go for a short kick-off. They need the hands on the ball, kicking it deep. Really, Fiji's error rate is so low in this second half that you're unlikely to force a mistake at that point. Oh, here they go, crashing through.
Ashley Klein summed it up there as he awarded that penalty. He said, come on guys, that's 4 penalties in a row against you, to the Irish. He said, you're killing yourselves. And they are doing that because Fiji are on the attack again with Bradley Kwalilawa.
And the strong running from the hooker, number 9, Sukanaveta, been a highlight in the second half.
Stora. Vanamataratu almost went without that. Stora will go himself. He's been denied a try already in this first half. He's been denied a try again by the Irish. What's he got to do to get over that try line? Bradley Kwalilawa, Jared Hayne, and now Aaron Groom. Groom on to Sukanaveta. Sukanaveta to Oli Nailia. Nailia still going. Ireland again defending for all their worth, but this must be exhausting for the men in green. Groom stabs the kick in. Hayne is challenging. Oh, he did ever so well there, Jared Hayne, and he's taken a knock for his pains, but I think that he's got that ball down.
Well, we're all thankful that the posts have some protection on them. The padding may have just helped him a little. I've no doubt he's in pain with the speed with which he collided. His non-selected teammates are happy. They're starting the song sing-along. Is he onside? Yes, he is. Behind the line by a metre, I would say.
Beautiful kick, wasn't it, by the scrum half, Aaron Groom. He's got plenty of brains, this kid, and so has a fullback, Jared Haynes. Makes contact, no problem with getting the ball down, but he ricocheted off the post.
Parramatta's Jared Hayne, I think, has got that try. It's video ref Phil Cooley who's having a look at this one, and I think he'll award this one to the fullback. Ireland desperately hoping not, but yes, the Fijian bench celebrates, and no pain, no Hayne.
Well, it's a pity they don't award some bravery medals, because Ireland deserve it in this World Cup. The way they've hung on in the line, you see 4 men around the ruck, but here you see a player who 2 years ago was voted the best young player in Australia. Possibly his game awareness sets him apart from the other players on this field. Timed the run to perfection, had the skills to collect the ball despite the goalpost. The upright kneeler knocked him out, but I think he's the one who's knocked Ireland out of this World Cup.
Pretty good tactics as well, the ability to realise that Ireland have had to do a lot of defending over the last 10 minutes, so therefore the kick and chase would have left them a little bit short.
Paul McGregor just on the field there on the in your shot, assistant coach to this Fijian side, as the captain Wes Nagama lines up. It should be another 2 points for his team. Well, Scott Grix comes back towards the halfway line as Fiji celebrate. Meanwhile, for the restart, Grix very quickly back to the halfway line to get things going. Fiji ahead 26-10.
Beautiful kick, wasn't it? And the fullback Hayne knew exactly what he was going to do. Maybe not ricochet into the post in the process.
Well, Ireland are now trailing by 26 points to 10, and they have problems on the sidelines. Ben?
The injury is really costly for Ireland, Bill. The injury to Liam Finn there for his right eye, well, there wasn't time to stitch him and he's come back bandaged, but in his absence they scored that try from Hayne just as when Grix was off the field with a left eye problem earlier. Bukuya went over for Fiji.
And another problem, because Pat Richards very slowly getting back into line. He took a knock from that restart. Well, they've given their all, have the Irish, for the cause, to the extent that they've all had tattoos to show their loyalty to the team. But Fiji now making progress with ominous ease. On the last, Bradley Kwalilawa thumps the kick in, and it's not a bad one, but it's just too strong, and Richards sees that one run dead.
To be fair, Fiji have played exceptionally well in the second half. They controlled the ruck. They've had players too, they could come off the bench. I've been impressed with James Storer.
Well, what a good restart that is. That's quick thinking, but Ireland not quick enough to get there.
He had to find the sideline, Bill. That was the play. They would have got head and feet at the scrum had he been able to get the ball to bounce in the field of play and roll over the sideline. That's what he was aiming for. As it is now, it's just more tackling practice.
Marcus Damien.
Coming up to 11 minutes on the clock here, so it looks as though Ireland's World Cup odyssey is going to end here on the Gold Coast. But they really have been one of the highlights of the competition so far. Don't write them off yet. Oh, if only that had come up for them. Instead, it's going to come up for Uarte. And it's back to 6. That's the second possible interception attempt they've had, and it hasn't stuck. And instead, they find themselves backpedaling once more.
Bit of a problem with the left shoulder there for the winger Uarte.
Sukanaveta comes across field and then straightens it up. James Storer now. Storer finds Aaron Groom. Groom onto Jared Hayne. Hayne shapes to put the kick in. It's a poor one and straight into the arms of Damien Blanche, and Ireland have that back. Have the Irish got anything left in the tank in the last 10 minutes here?
I think they're finding it very difficult indeed, because the way that Fiji have, as I said, controlled it from the dummy half position, they've been playing the ball a lot quicker than what they did in the first half, and it's meant that Ireland have had to work overtime in defence. The one wonderful aspect, though, Bill, about this Fijian side is that the Fijian government has made it quite clear if they did win tonight that they would be pumping thousands of dollars into the schools and preparing the youngsters to play rugby league. So often they've had to be overshadowed by rugby union in the island of Fiji, and I must say this will be a huge lift for rugby league in their country.
Well, just as the exploits of this Irish side will be for rugby league in Ireland, because they can take so much credit, and for all the people who've worked to develop the game there, and they're volunteers, they do it out of their love of the sport, and this will be an inspiration, I'm sure.
Well, let's hope some of this Irish squad are able to go over there to Ireland whenever they possibly can and get involved in the growth and development of the 13-a-side code of rugby.
Well, let's hope they can capitalise it, because so often a team puts in an effort like this and then it isn't taken advantage of it. Their efforts aren't rewarded, and this Irish effort needs to be recognised. Here they are with Bradley Gwalilawa. Play on, says the referee. He just managed to stop before he got in a tangle with Vonamataratu.
Well, I do hope that the country of Ireland do recognise them, because this has been a wonderful, brave effort. They were not given any chance whatsoever.
Jared Hayne really teasing the Irish defence now.
Not only that, Bill, you know, there was a there's a knock. There was a point, you know, where Ireland actually went to the airport and all the tickets were made out to Samoa. They actually thought that Samoa would be coming up here into the Gold Coast, and rather surprisingly and ironically, they had to change all the names.
Well, Ireland will get head and feed at the scrum.
It would be nice to finish with a flourish, wouldn't it?
It would, to sign off with another try. You can see there's two Irish players out there with their heads swathed in bandages. Liam Finn can't possibly see where he's going. It's like he's wearing a balaclava. Off goes Bob Bezic. So many of these Irish players have enhanced their reputations as well, and the youngsters will go back better for the experience. They can take a lot out of this. Here's Tandy up to the halfway line for the Irish.
And not just the players, Bill, because, you know, the backroom staff, the coach and all the players, they have really lifted for the team. It has been a wonderful team effort, and they should feel extremely proud. Can they finish off?
That look forward. Gleeson wasn't going to hang around. Stabs the kick in. It finds the touchline, though.
It will take something incredibly special for Ireland to score now, because Fiji have decided that this is the start of their preparation for the semi-final. The game's effectively won, but they're working now defensively on the concentration, on their organisation, to give themselves a chance of upsetting Australia in the semi-final this coming weekend. Whether Australia win or not, they'll know they've been in a very physical game when you look at the bodies and the blood that Ireland have spilt. There's pain involved when you take on the batting.
It's Fiji who have possession from the scrum. Tajulala takes the first tackle. So Ireland, quarter-finalists in the 2000 World Cup, when they ran into England and pushed them all the way in that memorable match at Headingley. Again, denied a semi-final place here tonight. And it'll be Fiji and their coach Joe Dakitoga who'll be celebrating a bit of history for them. Well, at least one of these gallant sides has something to cheer about, and the Irish supporters have been fantastic during this competition. The Blarney Army, as they've been known as, have really rallied to the cause. But look at Fiji now. It's they who are finishing with a flourish.
Excellent rugby league football. You know, before this game started, I thought Fiji could not play controlled football. They have tonight. It's been superb. Oh, Platt got there in time.
An air shot from Damien Blanche, and Michael Platt was there to tidy up.
Well, this will be the fifth goal line dropout that Ireland have been forced to make. And that tells you, doesn't it, about Fiji's control on the game. When they've got to the end of the field, if they haven't scored, they've managed to kick the ball and trap their opponents in this priceless bit of land behind the try line.
Well, Richards try and find touch again this time.
There've been some really good starts from Fiji, you know. I mean, the fullback Hayne, he's been outstanding. Nguama is led by example, but I've been impressed with the halfback combination of Noile and Groom. They've all done their work. They've shared the load. It's been an impressive display from the Fijians.
Ashton Sims plays that ball. Here is one of those impressive players, the fullback Jared Hayne. Among the try scorers for this Fijian side. And weary Irish defenders there finally bring down Noilea. He plays the ball pretty wearily as well. And Jared Hayne almost stepping his way through. Gleeson manages to hold him up. It's about 5 minutes to go here. Groom puts the kick in. Richards is up. Richards has knocked it on. Fiji have it back again.
Well, this is just torture. Fijian torture of the Irish.
Surely they're in here. Ireland, you'd think there was only 2 points in this, not 16. Defending their line again, heroically. Right on that try line as Fiji play the ball. Storer, it's going to go out wide to Uarte. Uarte will get in for the try, his second of the night for Akila Uarte. He got a hat-trick against France in that 42 points to 6 win that ignited the competition for Fiji. It ignited the competition full stop. And he's been pretty hot tonight as Akila Uarte getting his second try.
Well, the rising star to come from this World Cup benefits here. Richards gets in the air. He's outnumbered 2-1, and the error gives Fiji 5 more tackles here on the line. What a lovely pass there. Give your wingman an early ball. Let him have a one-on-one with his opponent. And that's what Wes Nakama does. Quick transfer of the ball through his hands, puts the ball in front of Uarte, who rides through the tackle of Richards and just confirms Fiji here now as clearly the best side on the night and the ones to meet Australia in the semi-final on Sunday.
Brilliant display, especially in the second half. As I mentioned before, the Fijians, they have the tendency to just use flair, not controlled. But tonight, especially in the final 40 minutes, it has been a wonderful effort. They have not panicked whatsoever. Ireland are blooded, but they can feel proud of their efforts. And I think they would have to agree that they have been beaten tonight by a very talented outfit indeed.
Well, we wondered whether the presence of a U2 tribute act before the game might be a good omen for the Irish. It's not to be, but they can take pride from what they've achieved, not just tonight, but in the tournament as a whole. And never mind a blood red sky, there are blood red Irish shirts there just to testify to the effort they have put in as Wes Nakama lines up this conversion. Probably the most difficult kick the Fijian captain has faced, and he's just missed. I thought that was going to sneak in, but it came back into the field of play. Nakama misses with that one, but Fiji on target then for their first World Cup semi-final appearance.
Well, so little known about Fiji before this World Cup, and little known about this man. At the end of it, it will be a household name in every country in which rugby league is played and watched. Nakama hits the upright with a kick, it bounces out, it's irrelevant at this point in time. You know, everybody talked about Samoa and possibly Tonga before this tournament started as possible semi-final candidates. But it's Fiji who have risen through from that Polynesian group and offer the biggest threat to the reigning champions. As we see a knock-on from Nagria.
Stay in, guys.
It was the Park spaceman, Samisi Tora, who knocked that one on. And a pat on the head for him, but pats on the back for the Fijians. No wonder, well, Stanley Jean said during the course of this World Cup that his involvement in the first was what got his career going. I wonder who will be the Stanley Jean of this World Cup, whether somebody will be picked up. I know that Sheffield Eagles have signed the Papua New Guinea forward Trevor Paxton. They've picked him up. Incidentally, talking of Park spacemen, they've signed Dennis Moran for 2009. So that's where he's going next, to the town of the dish. Here is Eamon O'Carroll. Well, he couldn't get a start at Wigan, hasn't had a start at Wigan, in fact, bench player, but he has been one of the regulars for Ireland in this campaign and hasn't disappointed. And can Ireland, in the last couple of minutes here, can they just give a sign of what they're about in this competition? They can, and they will, and it'll be Damien Blanche, but who else? One of the players of this tournament, Damien Blanche, and another player who has had his knockers in this country. They were saying, who is he? A nobody Aussie who went over to England and has made a career out of this game. That is the perfect way to answer people like that.
We'd seen so little interplay though prior to this. Look, nice short ball on the outside and a short pass back with some support on the inside. Earlier in this game when Ireland was still in the match, it was one-man efforts, wasn't it? Taking on the Fijian defence. Here a nice combination of three players working in a short space has resulted in a first try for Blanche for quite some time in the second half. In fact, the first try of the second half for them.
His 5th try in this tournament, Damien Blanche, and he's also had that try disallowed against Samoa. Length of the field effort, and they brought it back for a knock-on.
And there's no better place than in the World Cup to show your wares, and Blanche has done that. Oh, that's not the best from Pat Richards, is it?
A weary attempt from Pat Richards. But it looks as though Ireland are going to have the last word. Even if it's going to be Fiji who go through to the semi-finals, Damien Blanche has given those supporters something to smile about.
Stay behind.
And the clock counting down. Jared Hayne just making sure he eats up as much of the time as he can as possible. And in fact, I doubt whether the game will restart. There goes the hooter. Ashley Klein agrees. Full time here on the Gold Coast, and the golden prize, if you like, goes to the Fijians who go through to the semi-final. But it's Ireland who go home with so much pride, and they have done so much for the game in Ireland. They go out of the competition, but what a tournament it has been for them. They have beaten Samoa, they ran Tonga close, they've lost though to Fiji in this semi-final qualifier. It's Fiji who go through, 30 points to 14 winners.